Welcome to WGT Community Radio, your home for all that is virtual golf. Being broadcast from 800 feet under the ground in Mitchell Cabin's underground bunker complex. Heard around the universe and in 5 dimensions. Here is your host. I am Yancy.
Friends, this is Yancy. I am here on a Saturday here in Portland, Oregon, where, well, first off, we're here because we have a guest. We have a WGTer who has an epic AndySon story, and as I have said before, anyone who played with him or interacted with him, or maybe even just saw his videos, his pictures, his inquirers, and not only did that, he was into the game. I mean, some of his posts were very technical and blah blah and whatnot. So I think there's got to be hundreds of these stories out there, and I'm proud to welcome WGTer SlicedPepper here today. Now, SlicedPepper, can we call you by your name, or do you want to stay undercover, low pro on the down low as SlicedPepper?
You can call me Art. You can call me by my name. It's good to be here, Andy.
Thanks for showing up. I appreciate. Now, I want to take a moment and let everybody know. Art has been very patient with me. We are having record-breaking insanity heat wave up here. I got 7 fans going, the air conditioner. I got ice everywhere. Bullseye. It's insane. It's like 81 degrees. I mean, so he's been very patient. He's taken numerous test calls here. I've had to go outside and just wipe myself down. I'm sweating so bad. It's never been so hot. I don't know how people do it, but thank you, Art, for your patience. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Now, you are here. Now, before we start here, first off, I want to give you, what do you call it? A good mark, grade A, on your nickname, SlicedPepper, because it's 2 words. It's 2 words, and you capitalized each word. It's a little thing in my brain. My nickname on WGT is the same way, and I don't understand how people will have a name like, oh, I don't know, I'm a good golfer. That's their nickname, and then just capitalize the first letter and not the rest. It boggles my brain. So you get it, and I like that, and I just want to bring that up. Excellent. What? Okay, now, you don't have to tell us. We understand. We're not. A lot of us aren't ready to talk about stuff that's happened. Why SlicedPepper? I mean, are you slicing peppers?
No problem explaining that.
Okay.
When I first started playing golf in real life, I had a wicked slice. I mean, I couldn't hit a straight ball if you paid me to.
Really? I've never heard of such a problem. That is
And one of my buddies started calling me Slice.
Slice.
And everybody else picked up on it. And I don't know, maybe 6 months in, I started chili dipping badly. And one of the guys took chili pepper. He started calling me Pepper, and they just put it together, and that's how I ended up with SlicedPepper.
Wow. Okay. Now, I was imagining you at home with a cutting board and a chef's knife, just slicing up bell peppers, like, just for fun.
Yeah, I wish that was it.
Okay. So you actually brought a nickname from a real golf. There is this thing called real golf out there on the planet and stuff. It's not on these little computer dealios. So you brought a real nickname from real golf into virtual golf.
Yes, I did.
You crossed over. That is impressive. I am not sure I've ever heard that. I'm sure it's happened, but you are the first to be acknowledged. There is a trophy already in the mail to you, because I knew this was. I had been time traveling, so it should arrive this afternoon.
Well, I'll clear a spot on the shelf for it.
There you go. Okay, now you're here too. You contacted me, and it's been a pleasure to meet you. You're fine man, fine player, fine WGTer, and you wrote me out a little story about your encounters with AndySon, and one specifically, and you're here to tell us that, and we appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of fade away a little bit, allegedly, and let you tell your story, and try not to interrupt. It's the way I am. I kind of just, but I'm going to try to be quiet and let you do it. So, if you're ready, let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I had been playing WGT for maybe 4 months or so. I wasn't playing every day. I mean, I wasn't really getting technical about it, but I was getting a little frustrated with the things that were going on. You know, shots going long or short, or wide right, wide left because of the wind and all that. I couldn't figure it out. And the normal thing, you know, you get on the forums and the rant, screw this game, this sucks, this ain't right, that ain't right. And I posted that, and
frustration. So you're in a mode of just frustration. You like the game, but you're just frustrated because you didn't seem to be moving forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I went on the next day. I was gonna contact WGT and tell them to go ahead and delete my account, and I went to scroll to the bottom of my page, and there was a post from AndySon. Didn't know him from Adam.
Right.
He had put down on my post, or on my wall, that he didn't think that I was giving myself or the game that much of a chance if I was going to quit after only 4 months. And the first thought that ran through my head was, you know, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, I hear. Yeah.
I don't know this guy from Adam. Who the hell is he? And I thought about going to his profile page, you know, and asking, you know, who the hell do you think you are? Trying to tell me that kind of stuff. When you don't know me. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, I figured, you know what, I'm going to find out who this guy is before I say something stupid to him. So I started digging around in the forums. And that was when I came across the WGT Inquirer page. And I laughed my ass off. I really did.
Nice.
That was some of the funniest stuff I'd ever seen. and I told him that. I posted that made me laugh and I needed it or something like that. I forget what it was. It was something like that. And a couple days later, he posted on my wall again. And started telling me, you know, there are things in the forum you can look up, you know, about distance and wind and all that kind of stuff. And
now, sorry to interrupt, but at that point, did you stop playing for a few days? Well, after.
I did.
Okay.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I did. And so I came back, and that was what he had posted. He just started digging around the forums, you know, look this stuff up. Because there's a lot of players here that take the time to come up with those formulas, and they post them. And so I did.
And he's to interject. You're absolutely right. He's absolutely right. If somebody really wants to reach the top level of this game and has the commitment and the time to do so, there are so many video tutorials, written out things, yardage books, not cheats by any means. These are things that regular pro golfers carry, their caddies have in their back pocket, their numbers, and he's absolutely right. The community is great that way of sharing their knowledge, which is not like that in other games, sporting game, video games, if you will. People are very secretive of their little moves, and I think it's a great trait of our community here. Is we all want to help each other, and it shows.
Oh yeah, that was, and it helped my game. I mean, I'm still there. AndySon's the reason I'm still there.
I was going to say, yeah.
Because of what he showed me, what he told me to do, what he told me to look at.
And
like you said, there's a lot of players out there that take the time to write that stuff out or make videos of it or whatever to help the other players. And that's like you said, that's a strong community.
Yes, and the amount of work, time involved in making I shouldn't say just, one of these epic tutorial videos. Let's say there's a 10-minute putting lesson on YouTube. To make that person has to it's an enormous amount of time. You have to get software, record your screen, then you have to render the video into streamable. It's literally a whole day long to do something like that, and it's a big commitment. And I'm amazed how much time people have given up of their own time rather than going out and doing whatever it is they do, or just playing by themselves. WGT, of course, not just playing by themselves. Okay. Yeah. But let's move on here. So I lost my train of thought there. So yeah, you're here. Obviously, you didn't quit. And if AndySon had not done that wall post, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now.
Yeah, I'd have been gone, yeah. I'd have been gone, without a doubt. And the thought crossed my mind too, if he's the kind of guy that's here, that's at WGT, he's obviously a good guy. The stuff I started checking out and then started seeing posts from other players that were talking to him, he's a good guy. If he's the kind of person that's playing this game, I need to stick around, because there's got to be more of them. And I have run across quite a few. You, Paul Friend, I mean, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
You just have to look for the right people to play with.
And you never know when you're going to meet the kind of person that ends up becoming one of your virtual golfing buddies, if you will. There's one guy I play almost every night with, and have for quite a while. Yeah, I've met people from Portland, where I live in Portland, Oregon area, on the game, not knowing they were even from Portland, and ended up being friends, playing a few rounds, and all of a sudden going, "What? You live where? You're just, you're like, 4 miles down the street, bud. Wow, what a small world." Then again, I might be playing with somebody random and find out they're in, Slovenia or something crazy, and making friends around the world. It's an international community. It's one of a kind, and I've always said, somebody my age has been on the computer, most of their lives since they were a teenager, let's say, and not computers as we know them today, but. And there's been communities and talking and groups, all over the internet. Still is. WGT community is one of the best I've ever seen, ever.
It is. I agree. And you talk about computers. I'm not exactly what you can call computer literate. So, and I've gotten some help just not even with the game, with my computer from guys I've played with and been in a club with. I mean, it's they'll try this or try that or do this or do that, and it works.
Yeah, I mean,
what I'd never even think of.
I met a sports psychologist through the game, and when I'm playing and I'm having one of my paranormal panic attacks, aliens around, I got anxiety, I know I can call this guy, and he'll talk me down, and everything's good. And that run me about $400, but I can call a real doctor, So, yeah, so we are proud of our community, and wow,
these guys I'm talking about. I mean, I can't list. I can't list them all. There's a lot of them.
Yes.
They're ambassadors. They're ambassadors for the game. I mean, AndySon was. Like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be there. And these guys put in the time and the effort to make the game fun for everybody, not just themselves, or they wouldn't be posting the things they post. And I consider them ambassadors for the game. I mean, I'm sure there's got to be a lot of people out there like that, like me, that stuck around because of just the people.
I hear you. I think there has been.
Especially AndySon. I mean, if there's people out there that have an AndySon story, they should get in contact with you, let you know, so you can go ahead and do this with them.
I will.
If they want to.
Anybody who contacts me with a story, I will do a video. I mean, lock, stock, and barrel, whatever the word is, phrase of the day. If there's 5,000, if there's 50, if there's 40, whatever, I'll do every single one. Anybody who contacts me with a story, we'll do it up.
I'd like to see the AndySon get bigger, you know? Remember the guy.
Yeah, I think it will. It has gotten big. I mean, it's only been 2 years now. I don't know how to phrase stuff. You know, I get uncomfortable when a friend is, and he was a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, that's passed on. I get sensitive as to what I say, and if I'm saying it right, but this is the second year, rather than saying, oh, it's only been 2 years since. Anyway, I want to clarify that and speak properly, if I will. This is, second time, and the numbers are going up, and so I anticipate even more. And all this talk has made me think of a good point here. I believe, allegedly, that so many. Okay, there's millions of WGTers. Nobody knows the real number, but there's millions worldwide. We know this, and many people don't even know the forums exist, or have never even gone in there, or just think it's probably a bunch of kids, F-bombing each other, or, talking smack, or whatever it is, But, this is a group of, the demographic is, 50-year-old man is the basic demographic for WGT. And, with serious talk and fun talk, and talk about anything. You go on there and say, my muffler's making a weird noise. Is there any, one of my guys has got to be a muffler guy. Come on, so whoever you are.
There's a mechanic in here somewhere.
Yeah. In fact, I think I'm going to, anytime I have any problem in life now, I'm just going to go to the forums and post it. Like, let's say I'm cooking some kind of fancy meal, and I don't know what kind of pepper to slice up and throw in that stew. I'm just going to go to the forums, post it, and say, hey, I got a cooking question. Somebody will answer it. That's how good it is.
That surprises me too. There's a lot of people that don't go to the forums. My buddy Bill, Shedlight.
Oh, yeah.
He did it. He didn't know. He told me himself, I don't go to the forums that much. I just don't. And I asked him why, and he said, whatever. Then he asked me about AndySon.
Okay.
He saw that I had switched my icon to AndySon, and he asked me what it was, and I told him, and he asked me who AndySon was. And okay, look, you're going to have to go to the forums. I gave him a link.
Yeah.
That you're going to have to go to the forums and find out. And he went. And he entered the memorial, and he's actually in the 64. And he took over doing the scores for Paul.
Yes,
that list.
He's helped me out on a couple things here with the prizes. When I was looking for certain scores on certain tiers. I mean, this guy Shedlight, who I just met and just started talking to, seems like a fine guy. I had posted a video saying, okay, I got this prize for the low score. Anybody who's a tour master or below, is going to win a prize, And however, I was not ready to do any math, so I said, well, can't tell you who won. Somebody help me out here. Somebody do the math, and I mean, that video must have been up there 5 minutes before I had a message with him with that person's name, number, and the score they shot. Boom. Impressive.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
On top of it, for sure.
He's a good guy. Okay, that's wow. Great story. Great talk about a great community. Some good ideas out there that we mentioned. And yeah, we got to get more people going to the forums, building this community up. Maybe get some dentists in there, a podiatrist. I'm just thinking of things I might need in the upcoming few years.
I'm a retired welder, so if anybody out there has any questions about welding, ask me. I can tell you.
Really?
Yep.
I do have a few questions about welding. I would like to see if I can get a welding console, but we'll talk about that at a later date. Not important at the moment. But I am serial.
No problem.
Okay. Now, I know this call is running long, but all my things run long. That's just how it works, We got to talk about it. It's just the way it is. So, now.
It's Saturday, man.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm not going outside into the abyss out there. It's probably up to, it's probably up to 82.
Tell me how hot it is in Oregon when I live in South Mississippi.
Yeah, I have a little beeper that goes off when it hits 85, so I know to do a few things, keep cool. In fact, I'm spraying myself down with one of those little water misters. You know, you spray bottle right now. I'm sweating it up at this desk here. Wait till you see the video. It's hot. But we're getting through it. We're getting it done. Okay, so I wanted to ask you about this. Now, in the middle of that first round, I'm reading through the forums and whatnot, and somebody's talking about somebody's going around on what do they call it? The medallion mission or something, though that like in
right.
Yeah, without being prodded or asked, or you're obviously keen enough to look at the situation and see that that's something that should be done for everybody in the tournament, and boom, next thing I know, there's one on my wall, there's one on everybody's wall. And wait, how did you do that? I mean, did you get any sleep? Did you sleep any shifts? I mean,
well, I took a hose and I ran it down my leg to a bottle.
That'll happen.
Well, Paul made the post that he didn't have time this year to give out the medallions.
Okay.
And, I remember how I felt when I got mine last year. Nobody should miss out on that. So I took it upon myself to go ahead and do it. It took a little while. It took about 4 hours. But, it's the most worthwhile thing to do. So, that was why I did it. Out of respect for what Paul was doing, what you were doing, and of course, what AndySon did. And that's why I did it.
Fantastic. In that box arriving today from the future, or wait, is it from the past? I'm not sure. I'm confused now. But your prize package is, it has something else for your efforts there. We appreciate that. That's let's just all things put aside. Pretend you and me aren't here. Talking about community, right there. That's the kind of acts that you see happening. Somebody taking their time to do something for everybody, without any expectation or need for acknowledgement. You didn't go around posting, "Look what I did," I'm the man. We just do things, and we don't need, pats on the back or whatnot. We don't keep score, if you will. We just help each other out.
If that's what you're looking for, it's not worth doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody out there saying, "Well, I'll do that for you for, give me a sleeve of Nikes and I'll, I mean, it's just not how we do things."
That's it.
Okay. Wow, it's been a long call, but it's well worth it. And if you're watching this video, thanks for making it through this far. I know my videos drag on. Takes me 22 minutes to award 4 prizes. But, okay.
That's life, man. I got a question for you, though.
Well, okay. Bring it.
I've been seeing the videos, and I've been hearing about all this stuff. When are you and Opie going to eat that cricket bar? That's what I want to know.
Well, as much as I don't really want to talk about it, I am ready to talk. I do need to talk about that. I have gotten a few messages and whatnot asking me, okay, so what? You guys chickened out? You think it's just going to go away? It's not going to go away, Yancy. We're going to keep asking you. So, not that I ever intended it to go away. It's just with the bracket round coming up and me taking, 28 minutes to give out one prize, stuff like that. Things are just running kind of slow. We are on board. In fact, I have communicated with Opie today regarding shipment of his half of the cricket bar. There's going to be a video where there's going to be they have ribbon cutting ceremonies when they open up a new building or whatnot. I have a ribbon tied around this here dinner plate here. I'm going to bring it up so you can see it. Brought out the nice silver, polished it up there. Got a napkin, and There will be a video where I'm going to cut that thing in half. I'm not going to touch it right now. I'm still having some anxiety on this, but we're going to do it. And I'm going to cut that thing in half. I'm going to pop it into a pouch, send it over to Opie, and probably next weekend we are going to do that. And we're going to do it live via YouTube or Twitter. We'll post the links and the time way ahead of time. But if you don't see it, it will be available to watch afterwards. And we are taking our lives into. I mean, this thing has expired. 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago.
That's why I want to see you eat it.
Yeah, and very. I don't know what the word is, but Opie just stepped up and said, Yancy, we go back a long ways. He said, let's do this. Me and you, cut it in half. If we're going to go down, we're going down together. So, it is on, I do assure you. And what's funny at night here is the crickets. There's always been crickets in the summer, but, I tend to go out for walks at night just to get some fresh air. Really, I'm looking for aliens and whatnot, but I'm not gonna.
Man, they're out there.
Yeah, that's a secret. So don't. Let's keep that between just you and me here. Let's not publicly talk about that. Whatever we just did, just between you and me. Yeah. So the crickets outside. I'm not kidding you. I got to start recording it because the noise is getting louder and it's getting closer. And it sounds like there's about 4 billion of them, and I'm not exaggerating. I mean,
see, they know what you're up to.
Yeah, and they're closing in on me because the noise is circular. I'm not kidding you. Tonight I'll try to do a recording. It's like they're closing this. It's like you're in the center of you're in the bullseye on a dartboard, and they're just closing in, man. It's like a turkey shoot. They're waiting to get me.
Like they say, man, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
I hear that. I mean, these crickets, they were here long before us humans, so they know something that we don't know. And I will be posting the number to my local urgent care and hospital, so I need everybody to please dial that number if you see either of us go down live on that video. The more calls, the better.
Yeah, at least have a bottle of Pepto while you're sitting there doing that.
Yeah, maybe there's somebody in the forums or somebody like a physician or a physician's assistant or one of the urgent care kind of people who could just be on with us, just in case, we start to foam at the mouth.
The Poison Control Center number on speed dial.
Yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore because it just kind of makes me a little nervous, but you can go on like Wikipedia and look up like crickets eating. You just Google something like, if I eat crickets that are 2 years old, am I going to die or something? And there's some interesting things to read about eating crickets and other insects. These are not live crickets, of course, although that's something people do.
They taste like popcorn.
I've heard things. I've heard chicken. I've heard licorice. But I will. I don't know if a 2.5-year-old bar is going to taste the same as a fresh one or not. Maybe I'll try to contact this company who made the bar. Maybe we can get a sponsorship out of them, get a banner or something, and we can give out fresh cricket bars as some kind of prizes, like a raffle or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's my afternoon task. I appreciate the phone call. I'm going to go ahead. I think we should probably stop it because we're having a good time. Next thing you know, it'll probably be dinner time over here. We'll still be talking about something crazy.
Not a problem, man. Appreciate the opportunity to let everybody know what AndySon did for me.
Yeah, great story. Perfect example of it's the story of the tournament. There's when people think of this second annual, I got a feeling this story is going to be the one that people are going to think of. Oh yeah, that year, Opie and Yancy ate the cricket bar, went to the hospital, got their stomachs pumped, and SlicedPepper told us that story where Andy told him, "You don't quit on me now," and so great job. It's been a pleasure. Been happy to make your acquaintance, and we got to set up a game here. Probably before next weekend when I eat the cricket bar. Just make sure that we get that game in because all bets are off once that bar goes in my mouth. So.
You bet.
I'll be in touch with you. Maybe we can play a game this week.
All right, man.
Okay.
Good talking to you.
Thanks for calling in, and I'm sure everybody enjoyed this. And like you said, I mentioned there's got to be other stories. People contact me. There's many ways to do such. You know how. Contact me. You don't have to send me your story. Just contact me and say I got a story, and we'll start up something from that. And I will do as many stories as I get sent, even if I got to do just like you did, go on a medallion mission, man up, sleep 4 hours a night, whatever it takes, I'll do it. Every single one. So, thank you for bringing that idea up. It's great. Art, it's been a pleasure. I got the air conditioning off in the studio here because we want to make sure we have good audio, and I'm just drenched in sweat. I mean, I got a towel tied on my head, and I'm gonna have to go out and just cool off here. But
all right, man, get the hell out of there.
Okay. I appreciate it's been a great time. Thanks much, and I'll be sending you a message. Let's play a game this week.
All right, you got it, man. Have a good one.
Thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
You too.